Hi, so let's take a look and see how this claim worksheet can be used so that you can build your argument. So what you want to do is start with your claim. And so for this module, we're looking at the fact that teens simply aren't getting enough sleep. So I'm going to write for my claim exactly what it is I'm needing to prove. So let's do it this way. The truancy rate at XYZ High School is an indicator that students here do not receive enough sleep to get to school on time. Okay, so this is my claim, and this is what I need to prove. So the first thing I need to do is grab a piece of evidence that indicates that students aren't getting enough sleep. So you remember back with the start school later, they are saying that according to start school later, notice that I am putting in the citation here mainly because I need to remember later that I need it. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, does not begin to secrete until 10:30 p.m. in a teen, a full 90 minutes after an adult's body begins to secrete it. Check all my spellings here. Great. That's okay. Not that one. Okay. All right. Now what I have to do is I have to take that evidence and explain it to the audience. How does that even relate to the claim? So obviously, if we're looking at 90 minutes, remember that you still need that 8 to 10 hours. So Troxel's the one saying that it takes 8 to 10 hours for a teen to get a full night's sleep. So I need to kind of explain that in the warrant. However, the process of sleep still takes the same amount of time, if not more, because that's where the 10 hours comes in. Still takes the same amount of time, if not more, for a teen to fall asleep. Well, I got too many sleeps in here. So I'm going to take a sleep out here. Just do a little editing. The more editing you do in your pre-planning stages, the less you have to do later on. Okay, so what the warrant is doing is it's explaining what this piece of evidence is talking about. So we know that it's taking a 90-minute time, but it still takes the same amount of time for a teen to get the amount of sleep that they need. I'm going to back that up with another piece of evidence. And the best thing to do is see if you can find evidence from a different source because they kind of work together. So I'm actually going to go back to Troxel with this one. Sleep expert and mother of teenager Wendy Troxel, there's my lead-in, states that a teen who gets a proper amount of sleep will not be able to function properly until at least 8:30 a.m. So this is actually not only supporting the warrant, but it's also reinforcing that claim, coming back to the evidence that teens are not simply, they're not awake at 8:30 because they've fallen asleep later and they need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. The next thing you need in the count is the rebuttal of the counter argument. So you're thinking ahead, how would this be brought back in? And of course, what's the thing that everybody says? Well, go to sleep earlier. The problem is you can't do that. If you're not able to fall asleep physically until 10:30, it doesn't make any sense to go to bed earlier. So this is what I need to explain in this section. Understandably, parents and teachers tell students to just go to bed earlier. In order to get enough sleep. So there's my address of the counter argument. Now I'm going to rebut it. The problem is adolescents, I don't want teens in there too many times, simply can't, and I better not do a contraction, cannot force their bodies to go to sleep any earlier. They must sleep in until after 8 a.m. to give their bodies proper rest. Okay, so what I have here is my argument, and you don't have to do these in this particular order. It just kind of helps the flow of it. But you can actually move some of these around. For example, I could actually use this first if I'm writing the paragraph, because if I address the counter argument first thing off, then it's a little bit easier to actually rebut it with the information. But this particular worksheet is going to help you make sure that you get all the pieces that you need. And then it's up to you to figure out how you want to actually present the argument, just as long as within this body paragraph, because that's what this is. This is a body paragraph. You're going to be able to build that argument, support it, and then address the counter argument as well. So this is what you want to do. You need to get a couple more. Since I already took this claim, you can use a similar claim as long as you don't use the same evidence, or you can change some of the evidence to a different claim. But now it's your turn. So go and practice, and you need 2 of these so you can make 2 good, solid body paragraphs.